Welcome, everyone. My name is Joe DiMaggio, Executive Director of the Baltimore Real Estate Investors Association. And with me today, I have attorney and CPA Bill Noll. Bill is a tax expert, asset protection expert, and he's going to be speaking at our main event at the Sheraton Towson this coming Thursday evening, 6:30 p.m., and at an all-day workshop this coming Saturday from 9 till 3:30 p.m. at the Best Western Hotel on O'Donnell Street. So let me introduce Bill to you. And Bill, can you tell our members a little bit about yourself?
Oh, sure, Joe. Thank you. I'm looking forward to seeing you again and meeting all of your members on Thursday. So, I'm an attorney. I'm also a CPA. Early in my career, I did a lot of trial work, and so I have experience with understanding how lawsuits kind of take place. But for the last 11 or 12 years, I basically run the CPA firm that my father founded. About half of our clients are real estate investors, and so we try to help people understand the tax law, to understand the spectacular advantages that real estate investors have to avoid taxes that really no one else has. And as I point out these days with the guy who's in the White House, those benefits all were maintained even though they changed the tax law pretty dramatically at the end of last year. So my background is, working to help people save taxes as real estate investors.
Great. This Thursday evening, of course, you're going to be speaking again at our main event at the Sheraton Towson. What's your focus going to be on Thursday night?
Right. So on Thursday night, Joe, I'm going to be focusing on the hidden power of LLCs and how they protect you. And how they protect you from an asset protection standpoint, from a liability protection standpoint, and then also from a tax reduction standpoint. So pointing out the best structure for someone who is a real estate investor to legally minimize their taxes. And so I'm going to be telling people, how to create the most safe system for avoiding an IRS audit while paying the least taxes possible. And we're going to show some great sort of skills on how to make you really lawyer avoidant, where lawyers, when they find out about the paperwork and the documentation that you have in place, decide they're better off chasing someone else who doesn't have the proper documentation.
That sounds great. And, when you say LLCs, we have different people that come to our meetings and say they have created an LLC. But I got to tell you, Bill, so often they don't set it up correctly. They go downtown, they pay the fee, they got an LLC, but it's a defective LLC. And that's why we say, is your LLC a fortress or is it worthless? So that's going to be great this coming Thursday night to hear you discuss all that. Now on Saturday, what's your focus on Saturday's workshop going to be?
Sure, Joe. So on Saturday, we're going to cover the LLCs in a little more depth. And, I'll be able to take the one nice thing about the Saturday workshop is it's long enough that I can take questions from the people who are there throughout the presentation. And I think that helps people to understand sort of the strategies by answering questions. And also it gives people sort of a comfort level to feel confident that these strategies are what I'm going to call viable. Okay, so I take questions throughout the Saturday presentation, and we're going to talk again about the powers of an LLC and the best documentation and structure to have. So that's one part of the program. And then on the second part of the program, we focus on specific tax strategies that real estate investors can use to, reduce or eliminate their taxes. And so we talk about basically how real estate investors are, in a way, a protected class under the Internal Revenue Code, and how, as a real estate investor, when you understand these strategies, you can make it so you almost never have to pay taxes on the money that you're earning as a real estate investor.
Wow.
So we're going to talk in depth about that. And then the final part of the presentation on Saturday is how to really show, set yourself up. We call it equity stripping. And that is, although it might look like you have a big cattle, if someone were to look on the public record, they would think that you had, or big hat, they would think that you got no cattle. And the reason is because on the public record, it appears that you have no equity in any of your properties. And I'm going to teach your students how to use equity stripping to make you really not be a target of a lawsuit.
Well,
so those are the three areas.
Wow, that sounds exciting. Now, as we know, the government passed a new tax law in December, and that has various repercussions for real estate investors and people who own real estate. Are you going to be getting into any of that?
Oh, absolutely, Joe. Both on Thursday and on Saturday, I'm going to be talking about the changes that have occurred as a result of the Tax Reform Act. Beneficial, okay, where there are changes which are maybe not so beneficial. What is interesting to me, but also, as I said, with the person who's sitting in the White House, not all that surprising, is that really the primary strategies that I've been discussing with people for years and that our clients have been utilizing for decades, those primary strategies all remain viable. Absolutely every single one of them. But there have been some significant changes that are primarily reflected on a person's individual tax return, their personal tax return, as opposed to their business tax return. So we're going to talk about how those changes are going to impact people. Remember, the law was passed in 2017, but it actually begins to take effect in 2018. So you won't actually file a tax return until next year, where the law is in place. But you want to understand these concepts and be able to work with your accountant to plan for them. So as far as I'm concerned, you know, this is a spectacular tax law for anyone who is investing in real estate.
Wow.
And so there are, as I said, some changes on the personal side of the ledger. Those really don't have anything to do with real estate. But one of the things I like to do when I'm doing these events now is have a little bit of a roundtable. Once people understand some of these tax law changes, to start talking about how these changes are likely to affect the real estate market and the values of real estate. Excuse me. So, because I think that it's going to take at least 3 or 4 years for some of the significant changes that happen on the personal tax return to start being reflected in the marketplace. And I think there are some good ones. So once you understand these things, you then can kind of be a first mover and take advantage of these strategies before anyone else realizes they exist.
Wow, that sounds exciting. I can't wait to hear that. Okay, so I know you're going to give out a couple bonuses this coming Thursday evening. You're going to give out a bonus, and then again a big bonus on Saturday for everyone who attends. Thursday night's bonus is more insider secrets to avoid an IRS audit, I understand, correct?
Absolutely. And Joe, I can tell you that we use the strategies that are included in this report in my office. And I only can think of 2 people in our entire office who have been audited, who are real estate investors. And of those 2, they were audited not because of any of their real estate investing activities, but because of some of their activities in being either a partner or a shareholder in a partnership or an S corp, having nothing to do with real estate. So in essence, they were audited for their non-real estate business activities, had nothing to do with their real estate.
I understand.
So those strategies that are utilized, and we have, I think, at least 75 clients who are real estate investors in this office for the last 15, 20 years. They don't get audited when it comes right down to it. And those strategies are outlined in this special report.
Wow. So for everyone listening, that's a bonus that Bill's going to be giving out to everyone who attends Thursday night's main event. That's a $99 value, and that's free. Now on Saturday, I know you're going to be giving out another bonus, and I understand that's called Millionaire Tax Strategies for Real Estate Investors. It's a 106-page ebook, $199 value, and that's going to be free too, Bill. Can you tell us quickly a little bit about that?
Absolutely. So the Millionaire Tax Strategies is really identifying the things that make real estate such a special class of assets under the income tax code. Ultimately, once someone understands these strategies, they can really, what I'm going to say is supercharge the way that they increase their equity in real estate. I call this learning how to build generational wealth. And really, the recipe and the secret sauce is included in our free report.
Great. Okay, so for everyone listening, again, don't miss Bill. He's going to be appearing at our free main event. That's this coming Thursday, May 17th, 6:30 p.m. at the Sheraton Towson. And then our special all-day workshop this coming Saturday, 9 a.m. at the Best Restaurant on O'Donnell Street. Now, for information on both events and to register, go to BaltimoreREIA.com. That's Baltimore, REIA.com, and register for both events, okay? This coming Thursday evening and then again this Saturday. These are very important events that cover tax reduction strategies, asset protection strategies, and you can't miss it. If you're into real estate investing, you can't miss this information. Bill, thanks very much, and I look forward to seeing you Thursday evening.
Thank you, and I can't wait to see you and all the members of Baltimore REIA Thursday and Saturday.
Great. See you then, Bill. Thank you.